So, you have new crystals. You have found some beauties, some lovelies to add to your collection. So what do you do with them when you get them home? I just want to share some tips with you about how to get to know your crystals, how to work with them right off the bat, and how to start incorporating them into your life. So this is a new little beauty that I got recently, and realized that I kind of hadn't done my ritual that I tell other people to do. So I am going to use this as an example. It's actually quartz with, it was sold to me as black tourmaline in it. It's actually blue tourmaline and dicolite. So I love this piece. I would have loved it if it had been black tourmaline, but under the light, it's actually blue. So typically when I purchase a lot of items and bring them home, I unwrap them, or if I just buy one piece for myself, I have selenite plates that I have around my office and my house, and I just like to set my stones on top of those just to help clear them, to kind of re-energize them. You don't have to do that. I go back and forth about if you need to clear crystals or if you don't. I really do think, after a conversation with a good friend of mine, a rock hounding friend of mine a couple weeks ago, that Mother Earth knows what she's doing. And even if these stones they're out of the earth, they're not connected to the earth anymore, Mother Earth still is working with them and knows what she's doing and will keep them as clear as they need to be for you. If you want to go through the ritual of clearing them, by all means do that. So I just like to set them on my selenite, or if you have selenite pieces, set them next to it, on them, whatever you might want to do. And if you want to go through the ritual of using sage or Palo Santo, you can certainly do that. You can place them on a dry bed of sea salt, chunky, coarse sea salt, or Himalayan salt, and that just kind of re-energizes them, any of those. So then I I look at the stone, and sometimes they need to be cleared off. Sometimes they're dusty. Sometimes they've been sitting on a shelf for a while. Seems kind of like a no-brainer, but I like to do that and clear them off either just with my fingers or with a cloth. I'm going to set that down just because I'm getting distracted by it. So, see, I lost my train of thought because I was getting distracted. So, clear them off, and then here's how you really want to kind of get to know them. So, and I know I say so a lot and kind of, I really like to just sit with the stone. Sit in a quiet space. You don't even technically have to meditate with it. Just sit with it, feel it, and take some time. Take 5 minutes. A little bit more time is probably better. Take 10-15 minutes and just sit. Have no distractions around you. Put your phone somewhere else. Don't have the TV on. If you want to have a notebook next to you or some paper next to you, that's an awesome idea. And just sit with it and feel it. Physically feel how it feels, but then start noticing your body and your energy. Start with your physical body because that's easier. And notice if you feel different sensations in your physical body. Like, are you feeling warmth? Are you feeling cool? Is that different than your normal temperature? Are you feeling buzzing? Are you feeling like pins and needles? Are you feeling waves? Are you feeling like tension in your body? Are you feeling relaxed? Go through your entire body and feel where you're noticing sensations. And just kind of pay attention to that. And notice if it's different than your everyday norm. Then notice your kind of energy body, whether you're aware of that or not, or conscious of that, Or if you feel like you don't feel energy, you do. We all do. It just comes in different forms. And it might feel like waves, you might feel dizzy, you might feel like the top of your head is exploding, you might feel this thing deep in your core, in the center of your being, that's kind of either awakening or opening or shifting or moving. It's totally different for absolutely everybody. And I just realized I'm sitting on top of the heat register and it's really warm there. So just notice what's happening with you energetically. If you are aware of your conscious clair gifts, clairaudience, clairvoyance, your intuitive gifts in general, and even if you're not, you might start to connect that way with them as well. So just notice, are you starting to hear messages from the crystal? Are you seeing different visions or different images or different colors or shapes? Are you smelling things? Sometimes it's called clairgustance. Sometimes we'll smell things. And I do have a lot of customers that will come purchase crystals or even at gem shows and they smell the stone. Or sometimes people want to lick it. I don't recommend that just in general because sometimes you don't know what's been on the crystal. But if it's yours and you know it's not going anywhere, then by all means have at it. So just notice these things and write them down in your notebook and sit with this crystal once a week, every day, whatever your timeline is, how much time you have in your schedule for it. Sit with that every day. Write messages, write what you're noticing, and just see if that changes over the next week or 2 or 3 or however long you want to do this. So keeping a journal, keeping thoughts and ideas about the crystal is a great resource. And do this before you look at any books, before you look at any online information. I should have said that at the start. Of course, when you purchase a crystal, you probably have some idea about what its metaphysical gifts are, its energetic gifts. But when you get it home, put all that away. Don't connect to that. Don't look it up. I really want you to feel it for yourself, to go into your own knowing, because we have all this knowing within ourselves. We can connect to this so simply and so easily. And I really want you to access your own gifts and feel that for yourself before you go looking up book descriptions or online descriptions about it. So I hope that makes sense. So what else? If you have questions, by all means, ask questions. And it's such a fun thing to get new crystals and stones, obviously. Otherwise, none of us would be here. And there are so many different ways that you can play with this as well. Another way to work with them is to work with them on one chakra. Each day, place the crystal on a different chakra and just sit with it there. Like, sit with it on your heart chakra and connect with that there and see if that's different than in a few days putting it on your crown chakra. And you can sit with it on top of your head, or hold it at your solar plexus and just feel into those areas and see if that feels different for you. So, sorry, I kind of like having this on camera. If you want to sit in meditation with it, that's awesome. And you can find some online meditations or find music that's really quiet and soothing and just sit with the stone and kind of create your own meditation with it. You can find guided meditations that might walk you through something, through verbal audio meditations. But yeah, just sit with it yourself and just see what happens. Allow the crystal to share with you what it needs to share with you. They all have amazing gifts. And what you might connect with as a heart chakra crystal might, for you, actually be opening to your crown chakra. There's so many variations, and every person is so different about it. And there really is no right or wrong way. So I'm trying to think, not trying to think, I think stuff is trying to come through to share with you about how to get to know your crystals a little bit more. So, and I should have said at the start, blue tourmaline, which is this stone, indicolite, is all about communication and expression and connecting to your guide. So that's part of why I'm working with this stone, to feel more coherent and clear too about what I share. So really what I'm hearing them say, or this crystal or whoever, is that there is no right way, there is no wrong way. For you, whatever you want to work with them, however you want to work with them is perfect. They really, really just want to be worked with right now in general. Mother Earth is so supportive and so energetic, and there are so many changes happening, not only on the planet, but in our society and in the world, that they're really being called to support us and help us through these times of challenges and through not challenges, through joy and love and peace and compassion and happy. So they really just want to be shared and spread out to the world. So I'm just listening. Usually when I give a little mini workshop like this, I don't start to hear intuitive information, but so I'm just hearing the message that with all of these two things, so with all of these things happening on the planet and in our society right now, crystal grids are really helpful. Even totally simple things. I'm seeing this picture of one centerpiece in a grid and 4 pieces around it, which typically is really easy for people to do. So this is another great way to get to know your crystal and to get to know the personality of the crystal. So just take one crystal, such as this, and place 4 quartz points around it, 4 quartz tumbles or selenite tumbles. They don't even all have to match. They can be anything you might have in your collection. And just set the intention that that energy goes to where it's needed on the planet, or to whoever it's supposed to go to on the planet. So, secondly, I really feel like for us, they're a great way to get to know its energy. So set the intention when you create one for yourself that it will help you get to know the crystal, if that makes sense. Typically, quartz is good to work with because it amplifies this stone or your main stone. You can use selenite, you can use other things, but the quartz will amplify this energy to help you get to know it a little bit more. So I hope that makes sense. And that's, the crystals really want to share that grids are a great way for them to play and to share their energy with the world right now. So I think that's about it. I feel like I should wrap it up. So of course, at any time, if you have questions, let me know. And I am happy to answer them, whether it's on this thread or in a separate question. And I really appreciate being able to take the time to share this information with you. I hope it's helpful, and I think that's about it. So enjoy your day, everybody. We will connect again soon. Thanks.